Avon.
Get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our Friday, June the 11th edition of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Mark Sassy. I was going to have Maddie Evans sitting by my side today, but she got her second COVID shot yesterday, so she's taking it easy over the course of today and through the weekend. This is Good Morning Vail, the newer Good Morning Vail on TV8. We're not available on Comcast yet, but over the course of hopefully the next couple of weeks, we're going to start seeing it available on Channel 8 on Comcast. Right now, you can watch our show live on YouTube, and you can watch the replays. We're doing our morning show from 7 to 8, Monday through Friday. Now, full swing, summertime here around the Vail Valley and in the mountains, Vail, Beaver Creek, Vail Village. A lot of activities happening. We had the Outdoor Festival in Eagle last weekend, and this weekend, after a year hiatus, the GoPro Mountain Games have returned to the Valley, and there's going to be a lot of people around this weekend to partake in all the spectator activities. I look at the schedule here, and really the list is a mile long. I think one of the biggest things happening today will be tonight at the Ford Amphitheater. Bob Weir will be playing at the Ford Amphitheater, excuse me, and that show sold out rather quickly. So good live music. It's kind of that situation where we're all starting to get into our comfort zones once again. You know, we can in some ways put the pandemic a little bit further behind us and be more aware of enjoying and embracing the outdoors. We didn't get to do it much last summer. The mountain games were not here, but they have returned. And a lot of activities once again in Vail and in Lionshead, a lot of the dogs and all the animal activities in Lionshead, and then the running activities, the biking activities all over the mountain, going up Vail Pass, going up Vail Mountain. One of the fun events on Sunday is called the Pepe's Face-Off, where I think you have 30 minutes to run up and down that last big pitch right there on Lindsay's Run, Pepe's Face, right at the base of the gondola in Vail, as many times as you can in 30 minutes. That's a good spectator event. But kicking off in the village, you're going to have a lot of kayaking right there at Gore Creek at the International Bridge. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my favorite competition, which I've been involved with for, gosh, maybe 15 years now. And this is before it was the GoPro Mountain Games. It started as the Teva Mountain Games. And they do an event called the Two Fly Extreme, which is a fly fishing event. I'll show you some photos coming up here during my fly fishing report. But that's getting underway right now for the qualifying rounds over at the rugby field just to the east of Golden Peak in Vail Village. Then they're going to have the finals for that part of the segment at the International Bridge later on today, and we'll give you some of those details because I have stood there before and dealt with that aspect of quote-unquote fly fishing, which is not really fly fishing because you're casting at targets and not catching fish, but it kind of differentiates who are the better casters, who are the better fishermen. A lot of kayaking activities today. There's an e-bike race, slackline all over Solaris and slackline over Gore Creek. A lot of demos going on. Slackline competitions will kick into full gear later on today through tomorrow. Here's some information. If you go to the GoPro Mountain Games website, you're going to see the schedule. You're going to see, if you're a spectator, how you can watch, the vendors that are there. And it really is probably one of the best ways to kind of get into the groove for the summertime here in the mountains. It's nice to have the GoPro Mountain Games back. Now for us here on the show today, we have some great interviews. We've got 3 lined up. I've got Jason Thompson with All Points North Lodge. He'll be coming in first at about 7:10. We're going to speak with Lance from Lionshead Jewelers and also Lance from Betteridge Jewelers and Tarek from Lionshead Jewelers. We're going to give you a look at the weather reports. It's once again just high pressure for us. A lot of sunshine all the way through the weekend. Perfect weekend to get out and enjoy. With a fly fishing report and more information on the GoPro Mountain Games and one of my favorite activities. But you're watching Good Morning Vail on TV8. We'll be right back after this short break with a look at your weather report.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day. Because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day, weekdays.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
All right, we're giving you a live shot right here from the town of Vail as the picture refreshes. You can see kind of what's happening in the village today. Lots of sunshine, nice weather for us over the course of the next few days. We are in the kind of the heat of summertime now. We'd love to have a little bit more rain coming our way, but you know, unfortunately, Mother Nature hasn't blessed us yet. But at the same time, cool evenings and nice warm days. Make sure you apply that sunscreen, apply it often. Hydrate. So here's an interesting story. Yesterday, I was over at the fly fishing store, Minturn and Minturn Anglers, and we had a family come into the shop, and they just yelled from outdoors. Their daughter had just passed out. She got probably some sunstroke. She didn't have enough water. They went and rode the Leadville Railroad, and she came through fine. We, got her some water. She sat in the shade for a bit, but kind of a big deal. So make sure you stay hydrated, especially if you're coming from sea level to these higher elevations. Kind of pace yourself as you get into your time here in the mountains, because you don't want to fool around with that. Sunstroke and altitude sickness combined can really make for a miserable time here in the valley. But we're going to have lots of sunshine today, lots of sunshine all the way through the weekend. There's no moisture in the forecast, maybe a little bit towards next week. But cool evening lows and our sunshine during the day, upper 70s, low to mid 80s around the Vail area. A few degrees warmer as you make your way towards Avon. And a few degrees warmer as you make your way further to the west towards Eagle and Gypsum. All right, that's a look at your weather. We're going to take a quick break. Then I have Jason Thompson here with All Points North Lodge. We'll be right back.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Each week on The Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss The Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
Valentine Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report, a weekend tradition since 1975. I invite you to join us each week as we shine a light on agriculture today and the great way of life that can only be
Jason
found
Thompson, I'm
in
the Director
rural
of
America.
TMS Services.
Our team travels the roads less taken to give you a unique perspective on an industry that is rooted in incredible diversity. Come along for the ride as we showcase how farming and ranching isn't just a profession, it's a way of life.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
And welcome back to our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. Joining us now, Jason Thompson with All Points North Lodge. Jason, thanks for being here today. It's good to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We appreciate your time also. So we're going to get into kind of the deal with All Points North Lodge because it's gone through a multitude of different transitions over the past 10 years. But now it's something very special and you're directly involved with it.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us what is All Points North Lodge?
So All Points North Lodge is a JACO accredited facility for both substance use disorder as well as mental health issues, focusing on both the outcomes but the results for the individuals. Instead of just getting them through some programming and back home, we're really truly focused on the outcomes that we're getting for the individuals. So we're able to harness a lot of different powers, a multitude of modalities as far as how we're using the therapy, different adjunct courses of products to really ensure that they are getting the best outcomes that they could potentially get.
So, like on any given, I guess, week, I'm not quite sure how that works. People would check in for their stay, whatever their time frame is. Obviously, is dictated by what kind of help they need, what kind of assistance. But how many people would you normally have up there on any given day?
Average 40 to 50.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, we're also serving the community here, so you don't have to actually be staying there at the lodge in order to take advantage of some of our benefits.
And then, I mean, obviously, each person, once we talked about it, needs different direction, different help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some people may get through their treatments quicker than other people. But you have all these different avenues to go down depending upon what the people need, right? Because everybody has different needs at different times.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that we've really been able to do is to kind of cut that frustration out. You know, especially in mental health and substance use, people get so burnt out and tired of, let's try this, okay, that doesn't work, let's try this, that doesn't work, let's try this, let's try this. And, you know, it creates a lot of frustration, not only for the client, but also for the providers that are working with these individuals. And so we've recruited a lot of different fantastic individuals to bring different thought processes, different therapies, different modalities of adjunct therapies, you know, TMS, hyperbaric oxygen, auricular acupuncture, a lot of different things to help provide relief and then, like I said, the outcomes.
And what is your main focus?
So my biggest focus is the ancillary program. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy, TMS, which is probably the biggest one, the auricular acupuncture, and a couple other smaller programs.
TMS, what does that stand for?
So TMS is transcranial magnetic stimulation, and it's exactly like it sounds like.
Magnetic waves.
Yeah, magnetic waves penetrating through the scalp into the brain, specifically the left dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. It's the area of the brain where all mood disorders come from. So depression, anxiety, history of trauma, certain forms of addiction, including smoking. And we're actually able to enhance and optimize how the brain is supposed to function so that it can recreate that homeostatic balance for itself. And we're not reliant on medications or on substances.
Did you get all that? Wow. I mean, seriously, right? I mean, that's probably commonplace for what you guys do, but for someone on the outside like myself that is not aware of it, it sounds fascinating.
Well, so you know, your entire body works off an electronic impulse, a synapse. A synapse travels along a neuronal pathway. And for whatever reason, when we're talking about substance use and mental health, there's been something that your body has deemed traumatic, and that communication from point A to point B is either no longer there or just not strong enough to get from point A to point B. You know, I use the proverbial game of telephone, you know, 2 solo cups and a string.
Okay.
One kid says, hey, do you want to come spend the night? The other kid is, huh? It's just poor communication. So if we have the ability to take that out, put some fiber optics in, and now the messages can be delivered clearly and concisely, then the body knows exactly what's going on. It's able to release neurotransmitters and really stabilize and balance the body back out.
So for somebody to go through this procedure, and it's probably not just a one-time procedure, right? It's over the course of the time that the person may be there.
Right.
And then are they, once that part is done and the other elements that come into play to help or treat the patient, I mean, once they've gone through this part with the magnetic head stuff, then you guys do you see a difference? Do they feel a difference?
Absolutely.
Is that kind of what you look for, right? For that connection to be made again, right?
Correct. You know, a lot of people initially, probably within the first week, really notice improvement in sleep, which is a huge impact on substance use as well as mental health. A lot of individuals sleep but don't sleep well, so they'll notice that. They'll notice a lot of clarity, a lot of focus, maybe some energy, just overall pep in your step. And then, of course, the overall attitude. You know, I've had a multitude of different individuals go through this treatment, somewhere between 900 and 930 in the past 10 years that I've been doing it. You know, the difference that actually impacts their life. They have the drive, the motivation, the focus, the desire to get up and do things, even if it's something that they know that they don't want to do.
So that's one piece of it. Hyperbaric chamber, kind of oxygen therapy of sorts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the air we breathe is 21% oxygen. In the chamber, we're getting the ability to pressurize and stabilize an environment and saturate somebody with 100% pure oxygen, which is just going to revitalize the entire body. Multitude of different reasons that we can use it, from traumatic brain injuries and post-concussional syndrome to depression to anxiety, and of course the wound healing factors that are obviously been used since the 70s for.
And it sounds like, honestly, with that, anybody could benefit from just being in pure oxygen once a day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for people to gain access to the lodge, obviously, I don't know how that process works, but you said it's even available for people in the local community, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So how does that, walk me through that process. If somebody thinks they need some kind of direction, some outer help from someone else.
Definitely check out our website, apnlodge.com. You have the ability to chat to somebody live right there. They'll connect you to our contact center. You can speak to somebody absolutely live. And then they'll definitely direct you into the right program that you're looking for. If you're looking for more information on TMS or hyperbarics or alpha stem or the auricular acupuncture, you can contact me directly.
Let's rewind. Auricular acupuncture.
Yeah.
So that's not your normal acupuncture.
No, it's all in the ears.
All in the ears.
All in the ears. There's 5 different.
In the ears.
In the ears. There's 5 points in the ear to help balance the body. Kind of create a more yin and yang.
Stop it. This is amazing. No, really, this is fascinating, and you know what you're talking about. Like,
absolutely.
I didn't know what I was getting into. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. We should have brought some needles. We could have tried it out on you.
Maybe you come back again.
Yeah.
You don't just try it out on me.
Everyone wants to see
the oxygen tank, I would do the hyperbaric chamber for sure.
Oh, you would do it all. Small little pinch. It's really nothing.
What's the normal time for a stay for a patient up there? Is it?
So the average stay is minimum of about 28 to 30 days.
Okay.
I think some individuals need a little bit more concentration, a little bit more focus. So, maybe 40, 50 days. But the facility itself is absolutely beautiful.
It is wonderful up there. It is.
A ton of amenities. I would personally like to stay myself, but.
And I remember when it was just the lodge itself, and we would go up there and have dinner, and our kids would swim in the pool. When it was, just a regular space for people to come and rent a room.
Oh, very cool.
And it's undergone a lot of changes over the years, and it sounds like you guys are headed down the right path finally. It sounds like it's found its home.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's pretty amazing.
I think what we can provide for individuals coming here, and then also the community, is going to be, a huge blessing and a great impact.
Okay, so once again, your website, allpointsnorthlodge.com.
Yep.
You guys were calling it APN. I like that.
Yeah.
That's how they talk on the inside. It's APN Lodge or APNL.
Yeah.
All right. Jason, nice to meet you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you
Hey,
so
have
much.
a good weekend. You're going to check out the GoPro Mountain Games maybe this weekend?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
First time around, you're going to see what it's all about. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you guys, thanks for tuning into our interview here with Jason Thompson, All Points North Lodge. Go to allpointsnorthlodge.com for more information. A quick break, and then we'll take a look at that weather, then more from Good Morning Vail.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day. Because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day, weekdays.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake! Hey, welcome back to the show. I want to talk now about the stream flows and the fly fishing report, and I'll focus a little bit on the GoPro Mountain Games, their fly fishing competition that they've had for many years, getting under full swing today. First off, though, let's talk about what's happening on our local rivers. We are still seeing higher river flows. Last week, about 5 to 6 days ago, we thought we had subsided. We thought the rivers were starting to drop down. It got hot for a few days. The evenings were warm. We saw a dramatic spike in our river flows about 5 days ago. So we're all convinced now within the fly fishing and the rafting community that that was our peak. The peak came earlier this year. So we are seeing the flows on the rivers now starting to drop down. And we are going to see that continue to happen as we move forward. Now here's a shot of the flows on the Eagle River at Red Cliff, which is not too far from where it originates out of Camp Hale. The flows in that area looking pretty low right now. As you can see, we're probably at about 70 CFS as of today. Now, as you make your way downstream, even if you get to Minturn and then down towards Avon and a little further west towards Edwards and then down towards Walcott, all these little feeder creeks flow into the Eagle River, and you can see a dramatic spike there. So if you look on that schedule, go back to June 5th, and you can see that massive spike there at probably about 1,600 to 1,700 cubic feet per second. A cubic foot is about the size of a basketball. Keep that in mind. That was our spike, and now we've seen this little wave train going down every day just a little bit. Our flows right now probably at about 1,100 cubic feet per second. So they're dropping kind of rapidly. Keep that in mind. Be aware of that if you're out on the water or near the water. The water is very cold because it's the snow that just melted, and it's moving pretty fast, so be safe if you're going to be standing down by the river. The mountain games, real quick, GoPro Mountain Games, the 2-Fly Extreme. This morning over at the soccer field in Vail at Ford Park, all the competitors are casting at targets on a time track to gain qualifying rounds to move on to the next round, which is going to be at the International Bridge. So about 80 competitors will start. 25 will go to the bridge this afternoon with a lot of people watching as they cast at more targets hanging under the bridge and in the bushes, and they're trying to earn points. The most points, that group will move on to the finals tomorrow, where they actually float on the river and they go and fish. But the ticket is you only get 2 fly patterns, and for a fly fisherman that's tricky, 6 flies total. And then tomorrow, actually for Sunday is tomorrow they're going to actually float on the river and fish. So we're going to find out more about what's going on with that. But if you want to check out some of that, along with other parts of the GoPro Mountain Games, the competition, the finals for fly fishing casting are going to be at the International Bridge, probably right around 2 o'clock this afternoon. If you go to GoPro Mountain Games website, you can find out more information. Quick break from our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. And then I've got Betteridge Jewelers in here. I've got Lance Fry in here, and he's one of the all-time greats when it comes to looking at beautiful jewelry. We're going to check in with him after the break.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
I'm Tyne Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report, a weekend tradition since 1975. I invite you to join us each week as we shine a light on agriculture today and the great way of life that can only be found in rural America. Our team travels the roads less taken to give you a unique perspective on an industry that is rooted in incredible diversity. Come along for the ride as we showcase how farming and ranching isn't just a profession, it's a way of life.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
Bladder cancer cases are on the rise in this country, and the American Cancer Society predicts more than 83,000 people will be diagnosed in 2021. An educational campaign is helping people to understand the warning signs and symptoms of this disease. May is Bladder Cancer Awareness Month, and to teach us about signs, symptoms, and how to keep your bladder healthy is oncologist Dr. Alicia Morgan. Dr. Morgan, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
How common is bladder cancer, and what are the most notable risk factors and symptoms?
As you just said, bladder cancer is on the rise, and we expect just in 2021 to have over 83,000 new patients diagnosed with bladder cancer. Importantly, the potential exposures that could lead to a diagnosis of bladder cancer are things like cigarette smoking, whether that's firsthand or secondhand smoke. So these are individuals who need to be, I think, at a little heightened awareness that they could experience a complication like bladder cancer. Unfortunately, there isn't an easy blood test or physical exam finding that will tell us that an individual has bladder cancer. And so we as physicians really rely on patients to come to us, no matter how embarrassing the symptoms may be for them to discuss, with things like blood in their urine to ensure that we can investigate those things further. Importantly, blood in the urine for men is really never really a normal thing, actually for women as well. But for men, this can be a very short-lived or long experience of bleeding. Women can have that too, but anybody should really talk to their doctor. And women, because it's more commonly a urinary tract infection that could cause these bleeding, need to really talk to their doctor if they feel like this urinary tract infection may be different than previous ones, or if they're getting treatment with antibiotics over time and it's really not making their symptoms better. So these recurrent UTIs and any blood in the urine are warning signs that there could be something more going on in the bladder and deserve that conversation with the doctor.
Does embarrassment keep people from talking to their healthcare providers about their symptoms?
Absolutely. Bleeding in the urine, urinary tract infections, and sometimes things like pelvic pain are really never things that somebody wants to engage in a conversation about. And there are lots of cultural reasons why we don't really just jump to those kinds of conversations with anybody, including our doctors. That's why I'm so proud to partner with the CGen and Astellas team on the YouTube campaign, Let's Target the Tough Stuff, which tries to engage healthcare providers, patients, and caregivers to provide examples of ways that we can ask these questions, and of course to provide encouragement that no matter how embarrassed we may feel, we have to get over it, because asking those questions could save our life if it helps us to diagnose a bladder cancer when it's still in its early curable stage, rather than letting it get to a more difficult and challenging stage to treat or to cure.
And I want to ask you about Let's Target the Tough Stuff and the goal of this program.
Absolutely. So this program seeks to really help empower patients with the questions that they need to ask their physicians, and also to show them that physicians are happy to talk about these issues, no matter how embarrassing a patient may feel that it is. Talking about things like urinary tract infections, blood in the urine, and again, pelvic pain can again save your life if this leads to your diagnosis of early stage bladder cancer. It also helps to provide for patients who have a diagnosis of bladder cancer some support to ask the questions that can be more challenging after diagnosis. Things like, well, what is it like to live during chemotherapy if that's what I need for my treatment? Or do I need surgery? Or will I have to live with a bag and after I have my bladder removed? These are not things that anybody feels comfortable asking, but are certainly things that are important to understand if you are a patient dealing with bladder cancer that requires those kinds of treatments. Finally, there are also conversations and discussions by patients and caregivers that help to show that side of the story and to help patients feel confident to ask, again, the questions that they need to ask, particularly when it comes to things like mental health and sexual health concerns that can be embarrassing to ask, of course, in general, and especially of our doctors. So the goal, I think, is education, empowerment, and really support for patients and their loved ones who are dealing with or may be dealing with bladder cancer.
And where can we get more information?
So this is really highlighted on a YouTube channel called Let's Target the Tough Stuff. So go to YouTube and search up Let's Target the Tough Stuff. You'll see a variety of videos and information there to help support you in your journey. Whether you have bladder cancer or not, it really does also help raise awareness for this incredibly important cancer.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alicia Morgans, for talking with us today about bladder cancer and helping us target the tough stuff. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
It's like old home week here at the TV8 studios. Lance Fry is with us from Betteridge Fine Jewelers once again. I feel like we are picking up, Lance, right where we left off.
Like I walked in
over
and
a
you've
year
been
ago.
here a year and a half
Right?
ago. It's the same.
I'm still sitting on the couch.
You got a few more gray hairs, but we're here.
I don't have any more.
No,
gray
you don't
hair,
have any
do I?
gray hair, so you've always had that much.
You don't have any.
No, they're there. They're there.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
really
you
nice
as
to see
well.
you.
It's really good to see you.
Hey, so we're talking off camera. Obviously, you guys had to shift gears like the rest of us after the pandemic kind of touched down in the valley for us last year. And you said it's been a pretty good, you guys got it kind of figured out, and it's been good for you guys at Betteridge. Let's talk a little bit about that background, what's been going on.
Yeah, we've all been through a crazy year and a half already. It kind of honestly flew by in a strange way. We went through the pandemic with everyone, shut the place down in early 2020, and reopened almost a year ago. And we have been extremely fortunate and pleasantly surprised that we live in this fantastic place and people still came to visit us. So we had tons of people, new customers experiencing Vail for the first time. So that was kind of the plus of it. People driving from LA, St. Louis, Chicago last summer, because they weren't.
A lot of people coming.
A ton of people driving. So that was fun.
That had never seen it.
Never been here.
Yeah.
So it was a whole brand new introduction to a whole new set of people experiencing Vail. So it was fantastic. So not only that, we got to show them what Betteridge is about and who we are about and the history. So, we've been very lucky. Business has been strong, and the traffic. We feel like this summer is just be fantastic.
So if we have new viewers that are just tuning in, let's kind of give the background on Betteridge and a little bit of that history, because there's a nice history there.
There's a ton of history here. The company is called Betteridge, and Betteridge originated, actually it's a family that started in the late 1700s in England as silversmiths. They immigrated to New York City in the late 1800s. In 1897, started their first jewelry store on Fifth Avenue, New York.
Okay.
So that's where they really started. And then roughly 1950s or so, the Betteridge family moved to the suburbs, which is Greenwich, Connecticut for them, got out of the city and started kind of reintroduced that brand there. And that is where the family still is. Terry and Wynn Betteridge own the company.
Wow.
Family, father, son, and they work in Greenwich. So that's where the main store is, the big one. They also have locations here in Vail. We have one in Aspen and then Palm Beach. So four
locations around the country.
4 locations.
So you're not diluted everywhere. You're just in key spots.
Very key spots,
Yeah.
very kind of key important spots where a lot of our customers go back and forth. We share some with Palm Beach and Greenwich, Connecticut, so it's kind of a nice experience. Each store is a little different. We don't carry the same stuff. We're a little more heavy on watches. We still do jewelry. Terry Betteridge his passion is watches. I'm sorry, jewelry, estate jewelry, and just he's very passionate, very knowledgeable about it.
Okay.
So we have a good assortment of designer jewelry, pretty incredible diamonds, a lot of estate jewelry, and then of course, tons of watches.
And that's kind of your hot spot too.
You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy what the history behind these brands and what they are and what's inside this thing that you can't see is pretty cool, honestly.
And only I think true people that really have a passion for the watches can appreciate more the inside of it. But for someone like me that doesn't, and you've educated me over the years, I can look at a watch and just, if I'm drawn to it by the appearance of it,
yeah.
That's kind of what works for me, but they all have their own little stories to tell. You want to go through some of these and tell us what you brought in? I'm
Yeah,
just kinda loving
absolutely.
this one right now. This is
I
awesome.
love that one.
I love
We're
it.
going to end on that one.
Okay, we're going to end on that one. It's going to be on my
So don't
wrist.
go over here.
Okay, let's
So
start with this one.
aesthetically, people are always drawn aesthetically, I think, to watches first. I mean, does it look good on my wrist?
Yeah.
This, of course.
It's like a car.
Yeah, you've got to feel comfortable putting it on, getting into the car, whatever it is. So, that's what is first and foremost. So we have several brands within the store: Cartier, Panerai, IWC, Rolex, Tudor, FP Journe, and JLC, Bell & Ross. I'm probably missing something. But anyway, the first group that we're going to talk about is Cartier. Cartier, first and foremost, was a jeweler that started back in 1847.
So that's going to be these two,
Those
right?
two right
Okay.
there. So then they got into the watch business in the early 1900s, roughly 1904-05, with the Santos collection, which is part of this one here. So this is a large model. Santos is the family of this collection here. This is a little rare piece because it has that unique gray dial. But talking about the inside of this is an automatic movement. So automatic movement simply means when you're moving this watch, there's a rotor in there that moves with you, that's winding this watch.
It's a self-winding.
Self-winding.
Okay.
No battery.
Right.
So there's no quartz in this. So this is a self-winding a watch. So that's kind of, which honestly most of our pieces are going to be either self-winding or mechanical, where you have to wind them every morning.
Okay.
Not a large of them.
Well, that's nice for people that don't want to have to deal with that,
Deal
right?
with the quartz.
I mean, just you
Yep.
put it on and you're good to go.
Yep. Quartz is easy to go. Sometimes if you set this down over 3 or 4 days, it will stop. There'll be no power left, but you just put your power back in it and you wind it up and keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And this is a gentleman's version.
Gentleman's version.
Yep.
This one here is a smaller one here. This is called the Panther Collection. This is part of the Panther Collection from Cartier. Again, you can definitely see that this almost looks more like a piece of jewelry than it does a
It's
timepiece.
beautiful. My wife would
She
love
would love
that.
this. You should come to the store and get it for her. And this it has a steel with a diamond bezel on it. And this is an iconic collection of theirs that started in roughly 1982.
Is this one automatic also?
That's a quartz. Because
Okay.
they're so small, it's very hard to get an automatic movement in it. And honestly, women like the ease of a quartz because once you set it, you're done. That's it. You don't
Right.
need to ever touch this thing again.
So they both have their benefits.
Both have their benefits. Totally depend what you want.
Depending upon what you want.
Yep,
And they're beautiful.
absolutely.
And this is just a couple of the Cartiers that you have.
Just a
You
couple,
probably-
yeah,
Like,
there's
what
a-
would you say? You have 15, 20, or you have like 50?
We are just placed a massive order to get ready for summer. We'll probably have 50 to 70 of these pieces in.
Okay. And people that know Cartier love it. People
They
that are
will-
just being introduced to it will love it.
Yep, they will. This one here. Okay, so this piece here. This is a Panerai. So
This is the Panerai, like the one you have on your wrist.
This is
a
the one I
little bit,
have
right?
on. It's very similar. This is the Panerai 44. It's called the Luminor. This is an Italian company that started in Florence. And
they were dive watch or
They were
something?
dive watches. That's exactly what they were for the Italian Navy. And that's just did it for the Italian Navy. They didn't really get into selling to the public until the mid-'80s, really, 1980s.
Okay.
Although the company's been around since 1860-ish. So this is luminescent numbers, Arabic numbers on there. This one is the high polished logo base. I think this is PAM 1806, which just means there's people who love these watches and they know what the PAM numbers are.
PAM numbers.
PAM, P-A-M. And
What's
then
the one on your wrist? Is that a
This
PAM
is
number?
an old.
Put your hand out there real quick.
This is
to
like
show.
an old. God, I don't know.
You've had this for 20 years, I
I've
think
had
you
this
said,
for
right?
probably 20 years. This is like PAM 120 or something So that's old.
You're like, it's just still.
It's still
feels good on
going.
my wrist.
It's still going.
And then what is IWC?
Okay, IWC.
I'm kind of liking this one a lot.
This one's really cool. And the interesting story with this company is it started in 1886 in the U.S. All of these others are Swiss-made, either a French company, Italian company, all Swiss-made. So this is an American company that did it in reverse. Started in America, and then they moved to Switzerland in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and started making all their movements there because that's where the talent was, who the watchmakers were. You had to be in Switzerland, obviously.
Is that still the case?
Absolutely still the case. There's a few that are done in Germany that are very high-end, fantastic watches. But most of it's Switzerland. This is called the Big Pilot, more of an aviator piece. This one's in titanium. It's a big piece, 46 millimeter, automatic movement. You just saw that crown on there. It's large, meaning that if you have gloves on, you can get to that crown and reset or wind what you need to do. But very cool piece, kind of very much a throwback. It looks kind of almost, like a
It does.
An
it's
antique-ish
got a
looking piece.
vintage look to it.
Vintage look.
Does.
There it is.
I love it. Vintage is the word.
That's the word. I did not think
right.
So you did it.
So let's let people know where you're located, shop hours.
So we are located in the Solaris complex, kind of in the Vail Village area.
Behind the slackline activities right now, right?
Yeah, it's a busy place. There is normally like a little ice rink, or there's a little place where people can play. Right now they have the lawn and stuff kind of put out there besides what's going on with GoPro. And we are there from on Tuesday through Saturday. We're closed Sunday, Monday, 10 to 5.
10 to 5. It's nice to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you,
We're going to see you plenty, I hope. Once again, Lance Fry with Betteridge Fine Jewelers, located right there in Solaris Plaza, right in the heart of Vail. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
Follow your favorite extreme sports athletes with the Telly Award-winning show, The Line. If you're an adrenaline junkie and need a daily dose of base jumping, skydiving, highlining, biking, kayaking, and more, then look no further. We've got you covered. Catch JT Holmes, Andy Lewis, Cam Zink, and many more extreme sport athletes here on The Line. Check your local listings for more information.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
June is National Candy Month, and as we all get back to the things we love, we have some tips to help you celebrate summer with your favorite treats. Joining us now to discuss is spokesperson for the National Confectioners Association, Lauren Boland. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy National Candy Month.
Yes. Well, what are the most popular candies and flavors heading into the summer?
Well, whether you're headed out for a hike, going on a bike ride, heading to the pool or the beach this year, there are plenty of ways that chocolate and candy can make your summer a little sweeter. So we found that Americans' favorite summer candies are chocolate, no surprise, you can't have summer without a s'more, gummies, and hard candies, which are both perfect to take to the beach or the pool and share with your family and friends. We also found that America's favorite flavors are strawberry, watermelon, and cherry, all refreshing for summer, and you can easily find those as a gummy or a hard candy to share with your family and friends.
And do you have any tips to help us incorporate candy into some of our favorite summer activities?
There are plenty of ways to incorporate chocolate and candy in your favorite summer activities this year, whether you're going to a barbecue, celebrating Father's Day, heading to a graduation party, or even just having friends over in the backyard for a barbecue. Chocolate and candy have played a central role in so many of our activities this past year. It's been a difficult time for so many, and chocolate and candy have this uncanny ability to boost our moods and lighten our perspectives. I know this year for me, I definitely enjoyed a few pieces of candy along the way, and it helps to bring a smile to your face and give you a little moment of joy.
And why do people appreciate chocolate and candy so much?
Well, it's been such an uncertain year, and chocolate and candy have played a central role in keeping us connected when we couldn't be together. Whether you had a virtual birthday party, hanging out with friends over Zoom, or just need a moment to yourself, chocolate and candy have been a great way to make ordinary moments a little bit more special.
And finally, where can we go for some more information?
Head to nationalcandymonth.com for more information on how to celebrate and incorporate chocolate and candy this summer.
All right. Thank you for the time, Lauren.
Thank you.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Check your local listings.
I'm Tyne Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report, a weekend tradition since 1975. I invite you to join us each week as we shine a light on agriculture today and the great way of life that can only be found in rural America. Our team travels the roads less taken to give you a unique perspective on an industry that is rooted in incredible diversity. Come along for the ride as we showcase how farming and ranching isn't just a profession, it's a way of life.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
I mean, seriously. Tarek Rowie with Lionshead Jewelers and Lamina Jewelers, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's a sister company.
Nice to have you in here. This is your first time with us at TVA.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having Lionshead Jewelers. I really appreciate it.
You know, we did a lot with Lionshead Jewelers here at TVA over a long period of time, over the past 10 years, 12 years. And it's nice to have you back. It just means that we're all headed in the right direction with COVID and with the pandemic behind us. And your jewelry stores are not just jewelry stores. Do you want to give a little bit of history about Lionshead Jewelers?
Absolutely.
And Lamina, just
yes.
First off, and then we'll get into some of the goodies you have here.
Absolutely. So the store has been in the business for about 20 years, 4,000 square feet. Half our business is fine jewelry, but we also have a lot of fossils and minerals and rocks.
A lot.
And collectibles, and we have pieces that are going back to 100 million years old. And we have kids from ages 5 and up that are into rocks and minerals and fossils. So it's a lot of home decor, lamps, tables, vases.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything.
And I think it's really, I mean, like to clarify, so your main store in Lionshead on the back side of the ice skating rink.
Correct.
It's not just a jewelry store, it's a place for the entire family. And you can walk in thinking, I'm just going to poke my head in and see what's up. You'll be in there for hours. You could be in there for hours.
Absolutely.
That's how beautiful it is and how fascinating it is in some of the stuff that you have, some of the collections.
And we have something for everybody. And it's like a museum. It's like walking into the museum. And the best part is you could actually have a piece of it. A lot of museums
you take a piece of it home with you.
Exactly, exactly.
Your other location, Lamina Jewelers, located right across from Solaris.
Yes.
Now that's just a little smaller, scaled down version of Lionshead Jewelers, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're going to find probably some of the same collections at both locations for the most part?
Yes.
Especially the jewelry and the diamonds.
Correct, yes.
Now, off camera, you had this full box of goodies, and you're like, oh my God, we got to scramble and get it all out.
We have a lot.
You see, I mean, this is just a sampling too, Tarek. This is just a very small display to give people an idea of some of the things that you share. You want to go through some of this and tell us what,
Yes,
what kind of the direction is you want to go
Yes,
today?
so I brought in a little bit of everything. So the first collection that I have is the tanzanite, and what I love about the tanzanite, it has this beautiful bluish, purplish, violet kind of color. Depending on how you put it in the light, you can see the different colors of blue and violet.
You can see us on the camera there. We're trying to get it to...
And a little history about the tanzanite. It was introduced back in 1968. It was the first time they launched it, and they named it tanzanite after the country that they found it in, which is Tanzania. And back in 2002, the American Gem Association named it as the birthstone for December. So this is a beautiful piece, an 18-karat gold and diamonds. It's a nice piece since everything is opening up now. You could go to a gala or events.
You can try stuff on.
Absolutely.
And obviously this is the necklace version of this.
Yes, so it's a beautiful pear shape with beautiful baguette diamonds, and it's a beautiful stone. It's one of my favorite colors because it has that bluish, purplish kind of color.
Just depending upon how the light hits
Exactly.
it, refracts and collects it. I see
Exactly.
that. And that's just one of the many directions you can go.
They come in a lot of different
Okay.
price points, so
Yep.
we have a lot of different price points, yes.
Okay.
The next collection I have is the beautiful diamond collection, very classy, very elegant, very dressy. You know, you can see the bracelet, the rings. This is all 18 karat, faceted with diamonds.
It almost has this vintage look to it also.
It does.
It's not, right?
And it never goes out of style.
Wow. I mean, look at those.
And we just launched this collection about a week ago, so it's a beautiful piece. I
And
love
who's
it.
the designer? Who's the jeweler?
It's a brand in New York. It's called Elmore.
Okay.
Elmore in New York. Beautiful people, nice collection. And again, they come in a lot of different price points also, so we have something for everybody.
But you just had to bring the real shine.
I wanted to bring the big, the big guns, yes.
Now, this next piece, we've had these in here before. This can be adjustable for
Yes.
really any finger size. You can turn it into a bracelet.
Absolutely.
You want to show people, grab one of those and show people kind of how it works?
This is an Italian brand, and they have a patent that it could turn from a ring into a bracelet. So you can see it as a bracelet right now, and then it goes into a ring. Now, and a lot of women like to change the rings into different fingers. And it's amazing how your fingers and different hands are different sizes. So
But that's fully, like, really accommodates just about everybody's sizes.
Exactly. So it goes up to about 10 different sizes. And it's an Italian brand with a patent that has a beautiful mechanism. And again, you can see how it's expanding.
That's beautiful.
Into a bracelet. And they come in different colors. They come in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold. We had a customer last week who special ordered in rose gold. And they come in white diamonds, blue diamonds, rubies, and sapphires also.
And who's the designer for that?
Serafino Consoli.
Serafino Consoli.
And we're one of the only retailers who carry this brand in Colorado.
Okay.
So.
I love it. I love it. Okay, moving right along. I think we're going to get down here towards Father's Day gifts in a minute. But we have some more
So we're
variations
excited.
of modeling
Yes.
and
So
variety.
we are launching a bridal collection. We are going to be the only bridal source in the Vail Valley and Eagle County, and we're having a big event this coming up weekend. Yes. So we're going to have about 3 showcases of engagement rings and wedding bands for men and women. We're going to have 3 showcases of engagement rings, and we're really excited. I think
this is a new direction then, another layer for Lionshead Jewelers
exactly.
in Alameda. That's great.
Exactly. We're taking it to the next level.
So June 18th, 19th, and 20th, correct? 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
A bridal and wedding band event.
Yes.
And this is going to be at the Lionshead location,
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And we're having a 20% sale. We're doing free raffles.
I see a free jewelry giveaway raffle.
Yes, and we're doing a gift with purchase also. So
I mean-
we're really excited. And we have a vendor coming in. We're having sweets and hors d'oeuvres, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's the idea with this right here. This
Yes.
just gives you a sampling of some of the pieces that you can come and look at if you are getting married. If you're interested in maybe just updating your engagement ring, your wedding bands for the guys or for the ladies.
Yes, so
Okay.
we have some men's wedding bands. I'm wearing one myself. They come in tungsten and they come.
Is that
18.
yours or is that one
This
from
is
the
mine.
shop?
This is
Okay.
mine. I've been wearing this for 10 years, and it's a great wedding band.
Is that
And
a
it's
titanium or what is that?
It's tungsten.
Tungsten.
And it's scratch resistant.
Does it have some weight to it?
It does.
That's neat.
It does.
Yeah. Wow. That does have some weight.
And it's
to it.
scratch resistant too, so which I love it. I mean, I've been wearing it for 9 years now.
It looks brand new.
Exactly.
Wow. All right, Tarek, once again, Father's Day right around the corner, and you
Yes.
guys, obviously along with the fossils and the minerals and all the other things, you have some pretty nifty ideas for the dad if maybe if they're into collecting knives, this is beautiful.
I think every dad deserves to be loved and recognized. I mean, Mother's Day is a big event for us, but I think Father's Day deserves to be recognized. And again, we have different price points. This is a handmade, custom-made knife. You can see the handle is a mammoth tusk.
Mammoth tusk.
And then you have brass, and this is Damascus steel. And you can see the detail of the Damascus. What they do is they forge it, they cut it, they polish it, and they dip it into acid, and that's how you get all the patterns.
Wow.
So this is a beautiful display of the Damascus, and it comes with a case also that is handmade.
Does it come with a stand if you want to display it,
it
on
does.
your house and not
It
even
does.
use it? I
It's
wouldn't
all
want to
about
use it.
it's all about the presentation. So
For
you know,
sure.
yeah. And then this is another beautiful handmade Damascus knife. Also, you can see the artwork and the detail on the handle with the brass. It's a beautiful piece. And the prices, you'll be amazed what the prices are. I mean, everything is affordable.
That is beautiful, and it feels like it has some heft to it.
Exactly,
like you
exactly.
feel.
And then we have a lot of men's bracelets. This is a cool dragon in sterling silver.
Oh, that's neat.
We have
Yeah.
some leather straps, a lot of different designs for men. So, you know, the guy today, or the men's today are really hip today, and they love wearing jewelry, whether it's rings or bracelets or necklaces.
I got myself a fun little ring.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
pretty
right?
nice.
See?
And if you want something from out of this world,
I do want something from out of this world.
we have a meteorite. This is an actual piece of meteorite that you could put in a leather cord or a sterling silver chain, and you could get a bigger piece and put it in the display like that. So it could be a nice gift, could be a nice piece to display
I mean,
at
for the
home,
right
business.
people, for sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not for everybody, but there is something for everybody.
You'll be surprised. Something like this necklace here is $98, and something like that piece is $198. So again,
See,
we
there's
have a lot of
affordable pieces there, too.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
good to
And
know.
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have something for everybody.
So once again, your locations, we've got the one at Solaris,
Yes.
which is Lamina Jewelers, and then Lionshead Jewelers, which is kind of the hub for Lionshead
the
Jewelers.
big store, yes.
Located right behind the ice rink up the stairs in Lionshead.
Yes.
And then this big event, tell us about this one last
Yeah,
second.
so please, you know, everybody show up to an event. We're having a bridal and wedding band event coming up on June 18, 19, and 20 from 10 to 7.
Okay.
It's going to be Father's Day event, Father's Day weekend also. So it'll be a lot of fun and a lot of sweets and hors d'oeuvres and live music and so on. So it'll be fun. And we have something for everybody, all different price
You
points.
certainly do. Store hours for both?
10 to 7.
10 to 7,
Yes.
7 days a week?
Yes, we're open 7 days a week. And then starting next month, we'll open 10 to 9.
Tarek, nice to see you.
Thank you so
we'll
much.
see you
It's been
again.
my
I hope
pleasure.
to have you back in here again and
Thank
enjoy
you.
the
Thank
GoPro
you.
Mountain Games this
Thank you.
weekend.
Thank you for having me.
Around Vail.
Thank you.
A little bit more of our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail after the break. We'll be right back.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
I'm Tyne Morgan, host of U.S. Farm Report, a weekend tradition since 1975. I invite you to join us each week as we shine a light on agriculture today and the great way of life that can only be found in rural America. Our team travels the roads less taken to give you a unique perspective on an industry that is rooted in incredible diversity. Come along for the ride as we showcase how farming and ranching isn't just a profession, it's a way of life.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
That was a whirlwind tour for our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out the replay, you can go to our YouTube page, take a look at that, and we'll be back again once we get in full swing on Comcast. But for next week, we'll be here doing streaming Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 once again. And GoPro Mountain Games right here, full swing. This is where you want to be this weekend in Vail. Go in and explore and check it all out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our weather is going to be perfect. So just wear that sunscreen, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, find some shade, and make the most of your time in Vail. I'm Mark Sassy, and on behalf of our entire staff here, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week for Good Morning Vail.